Thank you for watching. We are Boys on Film. Raj is here.
Hey Phil.
We are looking back at some of the best TV shows of 2017. Such a difficult task to whittle them down, I think.
Yes, so this has really rattled my brain. It's hard to imagine the amount of television we consume in a year, and I was really like going, damn, Raj, watch a lot of freaking TV when coming up with this list. It was really hard.
So we are up to number 3.
Dun 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 dun.
I'm excited.
My number 3 is Mr. Robot Season 3.
Kept saying I wasn't real. It was almost as if you were a different person.
You're right. He sometimes can become a different person. You're awake.
What am I doing here?
I couldn't get into that.
Really?
I didn't like him.
Really?
Yeah, I found him really irritating.
I found him super fascinating.
And obnoxious.
Really? I think he's super lovable.
Do you? How bizarre that you think completely different things to me.
How could you not like Rami Malek? He's amazing.
I'm not saying he was a bad actor. I just didn't like the character.
Okay. Well, interesting enough, with season 1, I binged watch it as soon as it came out, and being someone who works in digital a lot, you know, learning more about the hacking community and the realism that they put into making each season of Mr. Robot, super fascinating with me.
It's the mumbling as well. He constantly mumbled throughout, and I couldn't really hear a lot of what he was saying.
I mean, you do kind of have to be on this journey from season 1. If you're trying to get into season 3 of Mr. Robot, forget about it, because it's really dependent on the first 2 seasons. But they really explore the dual personality of Elliot, who's the main character.
I can stop this.
No. You pull the ripcord now, they will have won.
World catastrophes like this, they occur because men like me allow them.
He's quite a dark character.
He's
isn't he?
a very dark character, but I think we really get into the psychosis of who he is, because, spoiler alert, turn away now if you don't want any spoilers, but Elliot has 2 personalities. So the character of Christian Slater, who plays his dad, he switches between the 2 characters in the same body, and the dad is dead, but he's still alive inside Elliot. So at any given point in time, you have 2 characters who are competing against each other and trying to take each other down with separate agendas, but in the same body. So in season 3, you've kind of seen the world economy fall due to the hacking. So basically Elliot and his sister and Mr. Robot have taken down the economy of the world, and other emerging currencies like Bitcoin and, you know, eCoin and all this stuff is sort of taken over. The world is kind of in shambles, and it really sort of has the world imploding on itself, and basically Elliot regrets what he did, because he thought he was saving the world by, you know, getting rid of the credit records and, you know, all the government documents, but it actually didn't quite turn out that way. And you really see him battling his inner demon, which is his father, who actually takes over his personality and his body. It's very weird. It's, you know, a lot of people say this about Mr. Robot, is that, and I've even said this myself, I'm like in season 3 and I still don't know what the fuck is going on, but I can't stop watching it. Like,
it made me feel wretched after I mean, granted, I shouldn't really criticise, because I've not seen enough episodes to really pass judgment, but it made me feel quite depressed afterwards.
Oh yeah, you definitely feel a bit depressed in watching it, but for me it's a good kind of depressed. Like, you know, these characters are so dark, and, you know, you really feel like you're in a different world watching this, but it's set against the backdrop of the real world is, and the whole dark army of people behind the scenes are controlling the world. It makes you think, and for me, I'm like, well, really, how far off is this? Could people take down the economy by hacking into the computer systems? And I think they could. I'm definitely a fan. I love the music in Mr. Robot. I buy the soundtracks every time a new soundtrack comes out. Fantastic electronic music, fantastic acting. And this year I bumped into Christian Slater at Starbucks.
Oh, wow.
And he was so nice.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's Christian Slater, it's Christian Slater. And I was like, I love you and Mr. Robot. And he's like, oh, really? How was the first episode? I haven't seen it yet. And I was, this is Christian Slater.
You're a fanboy.
Well, you know, he's been in so many good movies, you know, and important movies of my youth culture, you know, Pump Up the Volume, Heathers, you know, and I even asked him about, ooh, what do you think about the new TV show Heathers that they're making, which is coming out on, I think, TV Land or Paramount, something like that. And he's like, oh, I think it's really good what they're doing. I think people are going to like it. So
excellent.
Yeah, so for the fact that I've got to run into him so randomly, and we got to talk about
in
a coffee shop and talk about it happened twice. I ran into him twice, Phil, at the same Starbucks.
You were destined to meet him.
Yeah, so and he's such a really cool guy, and I really believes in what he's doing and the type of work he's doing on Mr. Robot. So yeah, it just Mr. Robot season 3 couldn't go amiss from my top 5 TV shows this year.
Season 3 at 3. So my 3 is something that we have talked about just recently on this channel. A US drama thriller series which is on Netflix. Cora Tonetti is the main character, who is seen killing somebody in public on a beach.
I know what your number 3 is. Phil's number 3 is The Sinner.
It is The Sinner. You still haven't seen all of it
yet. And I'm getting sick of you talking about it.
Sorry.
To the point where I have to watch it now, because you're probably going to murder me if I don't. You're going to stab me.
I'm guessing that this isn't where you thought you'd be when you woke up this morning, is it?
I'm sorry.
Well, it's Jessica Biel who is the executive producer of this series as well. She is in the main role of Cora Tonetti, who does kill somebody in public, and it's the aftermath of that, because the first episode sets the scene. Again, like we were talking about before, it pulls the rug from under your feet. I didn't expect it to be her that kills someone. It follows the story of her going to prison. Bill Pullman stars as the detective, who's Detective Harry Ambrose, who is on her side as well. As it transpires throughout the series, it turns out that he is warm to her, and he thinks that because she's confused by the killing herself, she doesn't understand why she has killed somebody. It goes through the story of revealing why she has reacted like that and killed somebody. So I can't say too much because it would spoil it, but I think it's definitely a series you should watch.
And Netflix, again, this is another show that didn't really get much attention, but online people are just raging about it, how wonderful it is, and how engrossed they are in these characters. And I hear it at the office all the time. And again, Netflix keeping up the momentum, really.
I think there's something wrong with me.
And it's also about peeling away parts of a character, because Bill Pullman's character, you just see him as this detective, you just think he's a professional guy who is on a mission to find out more about why she's done it, but also you see weaknesses in his character, not when he's working, when he has, in his private life, he's seeing a dominatrix and he seems to be really submissive. So it's that contrast of him as a really clued up detective who's professional, and also his marriage. He's going through problems with his marriage. You see him as having a completely different life when he's not working. So it's interesting that you see that light and shade.
So you've seen the full season?
I've seen the full season.
Did you binge watch it?
I binge watched it over, I think, 2 or 3 nights.
Do you think there's going to be a season 2?
I hope so. I think there will be.
Okay.
And I think he has said, Bill Pullman, he was interviewed recently, and he said that it could potentially be another series. I'm sure he's been asked to do more, because I think he could be the detective in the next series, but I'm not sure where Jessica Biel would be in the next series, because it was kind of wrapped up. The story with her was wrapped up, so I think it could be another character, and I'm guessing she'll stay as the executive producer. Lucrative.
Very good.
So that's my number 3. I really enjoyed it. It was one of the most enjoyable TV dramas, because I love a good thriller.
Wow. It's obviously strong. You've been raving about it for weeks now.
I need to get your comments on it. Good to see it. Don't forget, we'll be back more to also reveal our number 2 and number 1 positions for TV shows of 2017. And don't forget to find us online, because you're online at eqmusicblog.com.
That's me.
And I am online at philmarriott.net. And we'll see you on the next video.